Each week, American History TV's American Artifacts visits museums and historic places. Established by Congress in 1820, the United States Botanic Garden is the oldest botanic garden in North America. Next, we'll take a tour of the Glass and Stone Conservancy at the foot of Capitol Hill and learn about the collections of this plant museum, originally proposed by President Washington in 1796.
Welcome to the United States Botanic Garden. My name is Ari Novi. I'm the executive director here. The U.S. Botanic Garden is an absolutely wonderful place to come and learn about plants. Our motto could be plants, 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 but our official mission is to demonstrate to the public the importance of plants and their value to humankind. And so today, we're going to take some time and I'm going to show you a little bit about the U.S. Botanic Garden and introduce you to the stars of the Botanic Garden Conservatory, and those are the wonderful plant specimens that we have here today. Right now, we're standing in a room called the Garden Court, and I always like to orient people to the Garden Court initially when we come in, and one of the most important elements are the two Cycads that you see right here in the front, very prominently displayed, the first things you see when you walk into the Botanic Garden. And they are incredibly important for us because they represent a part of our historical collections. The U.S. Botanic Garden came into existence in some ways as a permanent institution in 1842 when the United States Exploring Expedition, which is also sometimes called the Wilkes Expedition, returned from a 4-year voyage in the Pacific Ocean at the behest of Congress, mainly doing some surveying, but also picked up a whole bunch of really neat natural science artifacts, including living plant specimens. And so in 1842, when the expedition returned, they had about 150 fascinating tropical and subtropical plant species, many of which had never before been on the North American continent, and this was deemed very, very valuable. And so this collection of plants was immediately recognized as important by Congress. Funds were appropriated for a temporary greenhouse structure near the old patent office building to house them, while a permanent U.S. Botanic Garden could be built to house this collection and expand upon the plant collections. And so we still have to this day a couple of plants that are direct descendants, in many cases vegetative propagules of those plants. And the cycads we just looked at, the one on the left, is one of the original Wilkes plants, as we call them. And the species here is Cycas cercinalis. Subsequent to its introduction to the United States in the 1800s, it's actually become a relatively important tree species in terms of ornamental tree in the tropical parts of the United States, and specifically in southern Florida. As with most things in life, it's often quite instructive to change one's perspective. And so in order to achieve that here at the U.S. Botanic Garden, we've made sure to include a canopy walk in the higher levels of the jungle house. And it's just absolutely wonderful to get up amongst the tops of the trees into the canopy, see the wonderful and interesting plants that grow at this level, and also see a different perspective. Look down on the trunks, look straight ahead at the leaves and the flowers and seeds from the palms. Provides a really fantastic and interesting environment to see that's different from what you would see from the ground level. So I want to thank you for taking time today to visit with us here at the U.S. Botanic Garden. The U.S. Botanic Garden is an absolutely wonderful resource. We're open 365 days a year. We're always free from 10 to 5 every single day. And if you come to Washington, D.C., it's a wonderful place to step on in, no matter what season, no matter what time of year, no matter what time of day. There's always something in bloom, there's always something to see, and hopefully there's always something to see that you haven't seen before.